I'm gonna drop a couple bombs on the FD channel right now.
Who you rolling with?
I am rolling with FD.
I'm rolling with FD.
Let's do it. Let's go.
I'm rolling with FD, baby.
We are rolling with FD.
I'm rolling with FD.
Oh, you know we rolling with FD, baby.
We got alphas and bros in the house.
That's right.
Peace out, my brother.
Woo!
I'm rolling with the F, the D.
Learn something new every day when you're rolling with FD.
Yeah, we are rolling with FD, baby.
I roll with one person, and that's FD.
I'm rolling with FD, baby.
You gotta love it, man.
This is a family thing.
That's good. That's good, man.
Hey, Renee, who you rolling with?
Rolling with FD.
Hey, rolling with FD.
You don't have to ask. I'm rolling with FD.
My man. But see, Bless, who you rolling with?
I'm rolling with FD.
I'm rolling with FD.
That's how you just rolling, right? That's the whole thing, right? You roll with it.
You gotta let me know who you rolling with.
We're rolling with FD. You heard it first.
I'm rolling with FD.
I am rolling with FD.
I'm not just a pretty face, JD. JD, we should both do it.
No, I'm not doing that.
What questions do you have for me? Right, Manny and Jeremy, who you rolling with?
We're rolling with FD. We don't want to get our asses kicked.
You gotta let the people know who you rolling with, man.
Well, obviously I'm rolling with FD.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How are we doing? I had to make sure my microphone was working, folks. Can't just be out here moving lips and people can't hear me. I'm so excited about the conversation tonight. We have a special guest on. I'm going to let them get on before I introduce them. But hey, how's everybody's day going? Today is Wednesday. Hump day. Today is hump day. I think our guest is trying to get their camera working. It was working, and then my microphone wasn't working. And now my microphone is working, and they're trying to get their camera working. But let me know how everybody's doing. I'm so excited about. Hey, let me tell y'all something. This is when I get hyped, people. This is when I get hyped. It's when, on short notice, I let my people know that we're on, and we got people here rolling with us right now. I appreciate all of you. Let's see here. Uh-oh. I think we got them on. We're going to see if they're... Just send them a message right quick. I really appreciate all of you all being on. I think we're going to have a great conversation when we get to technical difficulties. Another thing about doing something live, always remember, you can't let the technical difficulties stop you. You got to keep rolling. But tell me about everybody that's here about your day thus far. What are you collecting? Have you picked up anything this week? Is there any, what's new concerning the hobby? What are your thoughts on sports? There's a lot of stuff going down right now, people. If you keep your eye on headlines, we got the USA basketball team out running. Yay, Bo. Good to have you here. Big dog. You the big dog, man. Good to have you here. Primu Buds, 671, and we're rolling. I love the picture. Yay, Bo, you know I love your picture too. Greatness, nothing but greatness. We don't talk about Jackie Robinson enough. Man, when the movie 42 came out, I got to tell y'all, I watched 42 probably 420 times. At one point, everybody in my family would come in the room and be like, "Oh man, you watching this again?" Yep, saw it in the theater more than once. I've watched it at home. I can't tell you how many times. We're probably talking about over 50 times. I watched 42 or scenes from 42 and just getting excited. To me, it's a wonderful movie. Can't wait for the regular season. ATL Picker. Are you a Desmond Ritter fan? Just asking. Are you a Falcons fan? Just asking. What do you predict for the team? Is your tight end back? What's going down? Who's your running back? And it's almost team after team now. You can go team for team and not really find who's the running back is the question. Are you not? You're not a Falcons fan? Who are you a fan of? What makes your name ATL Picker? Give me some background. Merlong Taylor. Let's go Dirty Birds. Okay. All right. Our guest is here, people. I'm telling you, can't stop us, bro. Technical difficulties won't stop the show. I just want to let y'all know I'm excited, really excited. I'm excited for the people that are here, for telling y'all that we're going to be on. But we got the OG Shark of Card Sharks ATL on. What's up, my man?
Man, what's going on, man? Sorry about the technical difficulties.
Bro, don't worry about it, bro. I've been excited for this for a while now. Since we
glad to be here.
Even before, thank you. Even before we bumped into each other at the National, we had talked about this, and I've been excited to have you on, man. To me, you're one of the, you're talking about OG, goats of the hobby. I think a lot of people should know about you if they don't already. You have a great story that we're going to dive into. I'm going to do some of these comments, and then we're going to get into this thing. I've been collecting Hall of Fame or basketball, football. I'm not to the flip aspect, but I respect their grind. I'm just a collector. Once it's in my possession, it's gone forever. I have a little bit of that in me. I've been trying to build my PC, but I also been moving other stuff in order to build my PC. So I can relate. Chris Powell, Kyler Murray over Justin Herbert. Man, yeah.
That's my guy.
Okay, is Kyler Murray? How do you feel about Kyler Murray?
Who, me?
Yeah.
He knows how I feel about Kyler Murray. Did you see him in the bra the other day on the football field with the bra on? I mean, hey, man. Hey, man.
This is what I always say, people.
Chris knows how I feel about it.
But this is what
That's
I say.
what 40 million looks like. Let's go.
As soon as Kyler Murray showed up, Larry Fitzgerald called the quits.
And let me tell you what he doesn't understand. It should be Jared Goff is greater than Kyler Murray. He knows. I'm a Lions fan, so he understands.
Understood. What you got? You got some background in Detroit? What makes you a Lions fan?
Man, my sister, she's rest in peace, she's dead, but my sister in school, her roommate, this is deep now. Her roommate dated Terry Kirby, who went to the University of Virginia when they won the co-title, and Herman Moore was there. So her roommate dated Terry Kirby. So of course, you know how it is when you're in college, you bring your boy down, you're going to see your girl. So he brought Herman down with him to meet my sister. And, he gave her a sign ball and, signed some stuff for me. And he was in college then. So when he went to Detroit, I followed him there. And, so that's how it goes.
It's a real story.
Yep.
Herman Moore.
Yeah. And man, for my 40th birthday, went to Detroit Dome and met Herman Moore in person again, man. And it was a wonderful experience.
That's good stuff.
Sitting in the president's box.
I want to say, too, we're kind of on right now. And I don't know if you know this background, but Imani told me one day, you got to talk to Card Shark Atlanta. You got to get him on live and have a conversation with him. So I want to give Imani a shout out for kind of putting this seed out there and planting it.
Yes.
And here we are right now.
Let me say something.
Go ahead.
Let me say something else about those guys. Yabo too, man. We come from Atlanta, come into a different atmosphere, and we start doing the Alabama shows. That's when we first start stepping out and doing shows, man. And those guys from day one welcomed us. And they always included us. Sometimes you have guys who come into a different atmosphere, it's the alpha male thing. But always, like, now we see each other, man, we hug and talk for hours, man. They're like real family and friends, man. Good people.
I will say Monty and Yabo did the same thing for me. From the first time I've talked to him, and every time I talk to him, I get a message from him. Same people, but very consistent, show nothing but love. I show nothing but love back to him. I look forward to spending time with him. It was really part of me excited. I was very excited to get to the National to meet Yabo for the first time. And I want them to know that. And I appreciate people that every time I see them and talk to them, I'm getting them. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah, good people. 100%.
ATL Picker live in the ATL.
Let's go.
ATL Picker, though, you say you're a Jets fan. How long you been, though? How you been? What's going on? Is this new? What's going on? I got to know that. I don't hear a lot of people running up on me telling me they're Jets fans before Aaron Rodgers got there. I really haven't heard that. If you have been, I respect it. OGGGG.
Yes, sir.
Chris Powell talking about goats. I appreciate you. Sheesh. Mitchell is greater than Booker. So AM Pax 15, I have them both rowing in the same boat, actually. Mitchell and Booker. I see them as the same player.
Let me tell you the story behind this. So these are close friends, customers, and everything. They know that we go back and forth about Devin Booker. So Chris Powell, Polo Powell is his line name. He's a big Booker fan. So, I'm trying to tell him that Booker will never be great.
Never.
You know why?
First you got to be healthy. Go ahead.
You know why? You know why? You cannot have a light-skinned goat. Okay?
Well, Steph Curry falls into that bucket.
No. Don't try. Hey, don't be on his side. Okay, don't be on his side, man. This is our long-standing. They are side texting me. They are wearing me out on the side text.
Oh, boy, I heard that.
And I'm going to lead you with another tidbit. You know who the greatest wide receiver is in the NFL?
Who?
Amon-Ra St. Brown. You heard it here first, okay? Write it down. Now watch these comments come up.
St. Brown has some game.
St. Brown the best, man. St. Brown's the best. I'm telling you, you'll see this year. Just listen to me, man. Listen to me. I'm telling you.
All right. The Monty Field with Let's Go. Noble way to be a lion, Rob. Okay. We family now, LL. You can't let me go. I like that.
Oh, never, bro. You're always there.
Well, we got comments popping. Angie says my PC is TJ Watt, Kenny Pickett, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Lawrence Taylor.
Okay.
You came hard on the end there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Maximilian says Broncos Super Bowl this year.
Oh, that's another one of my guys. Just erase that one, man.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's Lowe's Bros. That's Lowe's Bros.
Russ got 1 foot out the league, so I don't know about that.
Russ got Sierra, so he get a pass all the time.
That's what I'm saying. Got Sierra, got other businesses going on. He just out here for show right now.
Right.
Chris Powell, stop it. Book is him. I don't think Book is him.
Nah, he's not even her. He's not either one.
You know what? Hey, Chris, what I want to see is when Book and all of them play Golden State open tonight. I want to see that.
FD, Book is the fourth best option on his own team. Bo is before him. If I'm the coach, I'm calling plays for Bo first.
Bo's before him, and Bradley Beal.
Definitely.
Bradley Beal is definitely
no joke. Aiden, all of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, FD, you my guy, man. I love you.
Oh, yeah. We on Book all day. I just can't mess with Book. Drew Brown, 52nd best shooting guard in the league.
Okay, that's my shop manager, and he's a little crazy. We went today. We've been in Tallahassee today buying collections. He was telling me he don't know how I sleep tonight getting collections for that cheap. But it's part of the game.
It is part of the game. OG Shark, Marcus Brown. What about him, Chris? What's up?
Can you block people?
I can. I should block him for fans.
That's a good candidate right there.
Yeah, that's funny. Gary Wilson. Okay.
No.
John Mechie, a top 10 receiver. Okay.
That's my guy.
All right. We got Rob Woodson. Is that you? You rolling with Rob Woodson?
Who is that?
I take Scary Terry over St. Brown.
Yeah, but man, come on, man. What's wrong with you, man?
Angie says best wide receiver is David Adams. I don't know who that is.
I'm just gonna be quiet. He hurt.
So let me ask you a question. Tyreek Hill put a top 5 receivers list out.
Okay.
And did not include Jerry Rice all time. What's your thoughts on that?
He's crazy. How old is he?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Let me tell you, man.
He did put Torrey Holding in, which shocked me, but he didn't put Jerry Rice in.
All Torrey Holt did was run go routes.
Yeah, he ran
Jerry
go
Rice
routes.
did it all.
Good hand. Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry Rice did it all.
Any route a human being can run, Jerry Rice ran it to perfection.
And let's be real, Jerry Rice was the focal point. He had John Taylor, but Torrey Holt, Kurt Warner was running. They too young to understand. Kurt Warner was running the 5 wide with Marshall Faulk even in the slot. So somebody's going to be open. He's overrated, man. They don't want to talk football, FD. They don't want to talk football.
They don't. No, they don't. You're absolutely right about that. And then that's why you got to see in that system, you got to have certain personnel to run that system.
Right.
And that offense coordinator tried to take that system with him everywhere and failed.
Never worked. You had to have a quick trigger quarterback.
You got to have it. Mm-hmm. So let's walk everybody. I always start with origin stories. Let's walk everybody through kind of how you got into the hobby and tell people about your passion.
Man, I got into the hobby. I just, from the first pack of cars I bought down here, you don't remember this, Woolworths had packs of cars. 25-cent packs of cars, man. And this is a crazy story. So I'm in South Georgia, deep South Georgia. I'm like maybe 50 miles from Florida. So I used to collect cars and I used to go to the car shop all the time. I told my mom Saturday morning I want to go to the car shop. We had a car shop open. 2 guys in my area, Danny Acord, Robert McGinn, they open up, still friends to this day. Danny is actually a good customer of mine right now. But my mom used to drop me off every day. I was about 11, 12. One day I was getting ready to leave and Robert told me to go get my mom. So I'm like, did this guy think I'm stealing or something? I didn't do anything. I just sit around, sit at the table, open up, spend my little $20. Got my mom. So my mom, told him to come here. So he went and talked to her and she told her, he talked to my mom. I stood back. I'm just wondering, am I going to be in trouble? Because my mom was strict disciplinary and she didn't play that kind of stuff. So got in the car. My mom said, yeah, you're going to start working here. I was like, okay, cool. So used to come on Saturdays and taught me. And I was 13. By the time I turned 13, I was running the shop by myself. We got bigger, moved to the mall, and I worked there, the whole time. And just worked there all the way up until, late high school, college, and just worked it. And when it closed down, I got a lot of stuff, man. And it just, my mom put it up and held it for years. And I went, left, went on college, came back, got married, had kids. And one day my mom was like, you need to come get this stuff. So I was like, I'll get it, Mom. So never got it. COVID came and I was out working. So I'm a dental professional. So I ended up going to work for a private company. And my mom called me one day and said, this guy asking about these cars and people want to know what's going on. And I said, Mom, don't let anybody touch my cars. I'm gonna come get them. So I got them and it was COVID. We weren't doing anything. I started going over and looking, on eBay for the values. And I was amazed. And one thing about it, back in the day, all I collected was basketball cards. Okay. I remember going to the shows and people would look like, why are you collecting basketball cards? They're nothing. Dealers wouldn't deal with me, basically looking like junk. Well, man, I probably have one of the best PC Michael Jordan collections, multiple rookies, 86, 87 Fleer. Like I showed you the pictures. Oh, yeah. 86, 87 Fleer, Jordan autos, all the old stuff, basketball I have. I have boxes, BBC certified. I got a lot of stuff.
No, so we're almost the same age, so we can remember, and this is where you gotta have foresight sometime in the hobby. When collecting basketball was unpopular,
very.
People would ask you, why are you collecting that? The majority of people you ran into talking about cars was baseball first, football second. Yep. So tell people what made you want to collect basketball back in the day.
Man, it's just what I like, man. I like Dr. J and I like Jordan. I loved it, man. This is the crazy thing when I fell in love with basketball. My city used to host the women's ACC tournament. Okay. So my dad sponsored, was a sponsor. So he gave me tickets. I used to go and it was a small crowd. I used to go right and sit courtside, man. I remember seeing like Dawn Staley in her day doing her thing. And I just loved basketball, man. I just loved it. And so I collected the cards and all that. And when I used to go to like Woolworths and all them, and it's so crazy. All the baseball cards would be there and the basketball cards would have like stickers on them, like 50% off and stuff like that. I used to get them all, man. Get them all. Yep. So that's just, nobody ever collected. It's crazy, but that's why you don't see a lot of that. That's why the 80s are not a junk era in basketball. But in every other sport, they're junk,
That's right.
Yep.
So let me ask you this question, because I think you give a great insight. You and I both started collecting in retail. You talking about Woolworths. I used to go to 7-Eleven, go to Toys R Us, go to different stores to pick up cars.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get more of you and me in the hobby 20, 30, 40 years from now to be able to tell a story and grow and develop within the hobby from where we are right now? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm in an underserved area. So how I am at shows in Atlanta, I'm different in South Georgia. When kids come in my shop, my guys know. When they come in the shop and they have like cars and rubber bands and all that, we take them and I give soft sleeves, maybe give them a pack of top loaders and tell them, these are good cars, but you have to be condition sensitive. We're working on, we just opened up another shop. We're Drew and Jenna, my people are doing a great job of getting it started. Mike too, Galera. But we're gonna partner with the school system to reward. You remember the old school book it program where you read the books and get the free pizzas? We're gonna do something like that. Yeah, we're gonna do something like that where you come in and you get your grades and you maybe get a pack of this and a pack of that per A, per B, and like that. So we're gonna work to get the kids. The kids save the hobby. If the kids aren't collecting, we'll have another drought of the hobby will fail. So we have to get the kids involved.
I want to dig a little deeper. So I want to jump into inner cities and urban children. So I grew up on the south side of Chicago, all black area. Again, I went to retail. My father inspired me to start collecting cars. I actually came in a room one day and asked me, "You ever thought about collecting baseball cards?" And I was like, "No, I'm collecting coins and stamps." Right at the time, I'm like 8 years old. He's like asking me this question. I'm like, "No, I never thought about that." So then he knows me. He pulls me out. We go into sit down at the kitchen table where everything happened at the kitchen table, right? And he starts breaking down to me autograph prices that he's seeing in the newspaper with autograph shows coming up and card prices that he's noticed. He used to pick up Beckett and other stuff and flip through it himself.
Right.
He started introducing me to Beckett and getting me interested from you can start your own collection by building it yourself. So then I started opening up packs of cards from retail, organizing them. We're talking about preservation, separating them by team, by player in alphabetical order, and putting them in cases to protect them.
Right.
So how do we get more education to children of color? And then how do we build that population of collectors in the hobby to sit here just like you and I right now? Because you and I are from totally different parts of the country and came into the hobby almost the same way. How's that happen?
So what I think needs to happen is you have to get the kids used to doing it. And the biggest obstacle on a lot of kids is finances. So I tell a lot of my guys, a lot of my friends, bring your bulk cars. Bring your bulk cars, give them to the kids. They're not on a trying to make money level, flipping level, but they get a couple of pages and they put the cars in there and learn how to do it. Then eventually when they can make a little money, then they can buy more. But we have to just start them at the base level. That's a good way because we have a lot of bulk cars we give away to kids, when they come in and if they want them. And at shows, I see a lot of guys, open up, get what they want and give it to a kid. Stuff like that helps cultivate the hobby.
I totally agree with you. Even myself with Junior now, Junior's showing, he's 7 years old. He's showing more of an interest in cars. And I talked to him about penny sleeves, top loaders, and how do you even hold a card? What are you doing with it when you first get it? And I don't even care what the cars are worth right now. I told him it's about learning. To me, that's the biggest part of the 90s junk wax era is because it allowed us to learn about cards, what could be valuable, how to take care of them, and how to preserve them. So then when LeBron and them came in the 2000s, if you had been working your stuff in the 90s, you were probably in a good place as far as how am I going to take care of this Topps Chrome LeBron numbered or not coming out of the pack, this Carmelo, this Wade. Right. How am I going to do that? How am I going to take care of this David West? Because I used to love me some David West. How am I going to take care of that card? I agree with you. To me, that's one of the biggest things as far as teaching and then getting people familiar with what is this? What are cards? How do I talk to people about cards? What I love is negotiating. How do I start negotiating with people after you get somewhat more savvy? And then how do I move around in this space? Because if you don't have that, it can be very intimidating coming to a car show to understand what is this and how do I even talk and understand certain things. What's a BGS 9.5? What's a PSA 9? What's a PSA 10? What's a black label? Then I start understanding that.
Right. You know what's interesting about that also?
What's up?
Almost every show, I get somebody who comes to our table. I mean, we're all wearing the red shirts. We're 10 deep. And they see me and look at me and I say, can I help you? And we talk 30 minutes because they don't know how to collect. They had these cars their mom had, their dad had. How do I go about it? So I see that a lot. And even educating the people, who can go educate these kids. So you have to educate them too. Buddy of mine from college came in. Go ahead.
The important part of what you're saying is you're taking the time to educate. You're not seeing a card that someone has, and you're like, okay, how can I get that out of their hand because they don't know what it is? You're taking the time to educate. Now, I've been at shows where I've seen people talking to folks who do not know. I was just watching some content the other day, and this is no knock on anyone. This is just talking about what I observed. I was watching some content from someone the other day, and a person walked up and said, I have these cards here. I don't know what they're worth. What do you think? Now, after that statement, it could go two different ways in a conversation. It could go education, like you just talked about, or it could go, I'm going to throw you a number and see if you bet on that number. And I think the hobby grows better if there's more education involved. And I think we've all at this point had someone come up to us with either autograph product or cards, and once you get rid of them, do not know the price or the significance of them. And sometimes it takes us as leaders in the hobby to say, you know what, you got something there. Now, you may want to decide what you want to do with it, but you're not just going to give it to me.
Right.
It's important.
I mean, I make it a point, those people not to buy. I tell them, I'm not your buyer. And I tell my guys, don't touch it. Because why rip them off when we're going to do the same shows. We're going to be here. And that person finds out we rips them off. They come back. And no, you don't do that.
Absolutely. We got Angie here. Important fact. My principal in school would always show his card collection every lunch time. This would curb violence a lot. This is the power of card collecting.
Yep.
And this is why I asked a question about, I always sit here and wonder, I even talk at home about how do we create more people of color in the hobby? And I love what you're doing as far as education of youth. And there are several other people who are doing different things to educate children on what the hobby is. Look at cards, take care of cards. We have people at the National that are doing that. It's a beautiful thing. I aspire to do more just beyond junior. I've been working with junior trying to understand what are the proper steps to try to bring more people in. And I think in the future, we're going to try to do more stuff to bring more children in general in, and definitely children of color, to find ways to educate them on what could be their future. What could be a savings plan for them? We talk about 401ks and different things. What could be something that could take them as because I believe everybody has something that they're interested in or should be interested in. And it's a good pastime for someone. You can play sports. You can collect cards. I know some people who are great at knitting, doing many different things. I know people who spend a bunch of time in a garden. They may have a garden in their backyard. They spend a bunch of time on that. And then they connect with other people who have a similar interests. And you'd be surprised at what you may find once you do that. It is all important, people. Gabo, book it. It is fire grand way to reward our younger collectors. Angie, forever accurate about GT's finest, Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson is something else. I was just telling somebody the other day, probably one of the greatest wide receivers of all time is Calvin Johnson. Could have played longer, chose not to. Zerny, the shop is in Albany, Georgia.
Yep. Yes, sir.
ATL Picker Card Shark is one of the nicest people at shows in the ATL.
Appreciate it, man.
I truly believe that. What would you consider your Grail card in your collection? It could be high value or not. And then what's the story behind it?
Oh, man. My Grail card right now is actually a Mickey Mantle, man. It's not even a high value Mickey Mantle. Let me tell you the story behind it. I was at one of my first car shows, Start Getting Better Cars. So I got good grades. So my dad bought me a Mickey Mantle and a Hank Aaron. So, you know, kids walk around how we do now. Kids will come, leave their case on the table and walk off. They're just careless. I was, 11, 12. And I was at a show, trying to work a deal with a dealer. And one of my friends came and said, your mom is outside. She wants you. Left my cars right there. Mama's calling. Went outside. Okay. Came back. Mama said we had to go. Got my case. Came back and left. Got home that night and realized my Mantle and my Aaron was gone. Shows were every other month. So I went next other month. I couldn't wait to get there to go to the dealer and say, hey, you might got my Mickey Mantle by mistake. Never found it. I was at a show in Nashville. Kid comes up with the Mickey Mantle. Man, I gave him so much. It's not the same one, but the same car, same year. I gave him so much trade for that car. That car's so sentimental to me, man. Got one of my guys. He cleaned it up real good for me. And that's just one of my Grail cars right now. It's one of my,
beautiful story.
Childhood.
Beautiful story. I knew it would be something that had some sentimental value when I asked that question. I felt that.
But hold on. My second card is my highest graded National Treasures. Amon-Ra St. Brown, true rookie. My guys know that's my card. Listen, I put it in my case, a ridiculous price, and people still try to buy it. You're not buying that one. I just want to show it off a little bit.
All right. Did you pull that card? That card?
No, man. I got it at a show. It was a shark deal, man. Dude didn't know what he had, man. I asked him the value. No. Me and the guy are still friends to this day. He always say, man, you got that card from me. But yeah, highest graded one. I love it. It'll never leave.
Yeah, Ampax is saying that you were very excited about that mantle.
Oh, yeah. Very excited.
Angie says, FD, you and your buddy are great guys. Question for both of you. Which sport do you collect more, football or basketball? You take it first. Which one?
Surprisingly, collect is basketball. Sell is football.
Okay.
Like my Jordans will never, I have Jordans that would never leave. I have a Bird Magic 9. Never get rid of that. Jordans 9.5, never get rid of those.
I collect more basketball, and I think that's today. I think I grew up more with baseball and football. When Jerry Rice came through, all that stuff happened. And Lawrence Taylor was young in his career. I was collecting more football at the time than baseball. That's when you have bonds.
I like those special cards, like those refractors, old refractor, rookie, Randy Moss. I like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a great question, Angie. Appreciate that question. What makes you want to share your journey and your background with different people? What makes you want to tell your story? Because in a little bit of time I was with you, you're a great storyteller.
Let me tell you about the Sharks, period, man. The Sharks, I don't know if you listened to Meek Mill when he said he had dreams about this. Like the Sharks this was never supposed to be. Never supposed to be, man. I had too many cards. I figured I'd do a card show. Ended up, my first guy was Lowe's Bros, Max. Me and him, we did a deal on a hobby box. So it's so funny because I was meeting him at the show. His Instagram profile is his granddad. So I'm looking for this 60, 70-year-old dude, I'm like, where are you? Where are you? He's standing next to me saying that I'm a scammer because I'm not there. And we ended up being next to him. He's like 21. Okay. But so he didn't have many cars at first. He was starting in the business and we ended up splitting a table. We went from splitting a table, one showcase, sharing it, to 10 tables at shows. All my guys have been customers who I saw that shark in them and they joined the team and we just all help each other and build each other. You don't want to come into a group of sharks, FD.
I like it, man. I like it. I can tell when I'm around your team, there's a passion going on. Yeah. And there's a camaraderie going on. Everybody knows everybody, knows what athletes that you all like individually, what cars are you buying, what cars are you passionate about. I got that sense very, very quickly. Maximilian says it was me and my pops.
Oh, my bad. Pops. I'm sorry. He laughed.
And Angie asks, man, you guys collect vintage or modern cars? I'm probably more modern. I have a little bit of vintage, very small amount. Would like more in the future. but I'm probably more modern cars.
Same.
Culture Collision. I know you're going.
Oh
right?
man, good story about Culture Collision. So I had known Max about maybe a month or two, and we went to Culture Collision. Just got a table. Got with Prism Guy. Got a table, and it was me, Max, and at the time maybe my 9-year-old daughter. And man, we did almost 6 figures. Like it was, we just branched out into New York. We have a Card Sharks NYC now. It's ran by Dan. So Dan was one of my biggest customers at that Culture Collision. So that's just how we meet people and they become Sharks. Working on LA. We got West Coast Jerry out in LA. So we're trying to be nationwide, man.
All right. I can't wait until LA happens.
Hey man, we're working on it, man.
Be there all the time. We'll create content there all the time.
Oh, let's do it.
That'll be our shop in LA. That we're there.
Are you going to Hobby Slam? You gonna be at Hobby Slam?
No, where is Hobby Slam?
2 weeks in Miami.
I will not be there. I heard Jeff Wilson talking about it, but I will not be there.
Okay, so weekend before Burbank.
Sounds like a show I need to get to. Are you coming to Burbank?
No, Burbank has some last minute stuff, man. My mother wanted to go on vacation that week, so Mama, we do shows heavy, so had to go with Mom.
Yeah, I don't question Mom.
No, can't.
I completely understand that. Yabo says, I love vintage Beth. Digging it. I know Yabo does. Yabo has some great stuff. Bridget, your staff is awesome. Bridget, thank you for being here. They are very helpful when my son comes into shop. Thank you for being here. Bridget, let us know what your son buys. What does he buy?
Her son is Munchie. He buys Pokemon.
Okay.
She gonna say, don't call him Munchie. I call him Munchie.
All right. So do you send cars in for grading, correct?
Oh, 100%. We send 500-600 a week.
What grading companies do you send to and why?
We do a little PSA, BGS, SGC, HGA. It depends on what it is and what you want. We do a lot of HGA we do a lot of our Pokemon, a lot of our PC cards. PSA, that's our biggest sub provider, and that's the majority of it. BGS, if it's a good auto, so it's just certain cars need to be BGS. If we're looking for speed, a lot of times it's SGC because they're door-to-door 10 days. So just depends on the situation.
Okay. What would be your recommendation? What would you say to someone who's just getting into the hobby? It's August 16, 2023. I'm person X. I have an interest. I reach out to you and say, hey, what should I be thinking about? What would you say to them?
Number one question I would ask is, what is your intent? Do you want to just buy for PC? Are you trying to make a profit? Are you, I like to buy for PC, but use the hobby to fund that. I believe if you do it right, you don't have to put a dime into this hobby. If you start off with a base amount of money and you do it right, it can grow so well. So, just what the person does. And I tell my guys, there's certain stuff you need to focus on. Look for rookies, color numbered autos, patches, the stuff that's different. That's the stuff you want to collect.
So when you talk about you don't have to use your own money, how much are you talking about patience with that person?
Patience as in flipping it? Or?
No, you could be flipping it. It could be patience as in allowing the car to grow over a period of time before you sell. What is that conversation like? Because I think today, patience is probably talked about least amount of time.
Right.
And when we came into the hobby, we knew we're buying, we're holding. We may move, but we're going to hold for a specified amount of time before we move. What would you be talking about with that person?
Well, I have people that ask all the time. I have a father-son duo. Every month they say, Shark, who you buying? And they buy them, and they win a lot. They win a lot. I love to speculate, man. Like, you remember when Mike White got hot last year?
Oh yeah.
People were amazed that he got hot that weekend, and I had PSA 10 cars graded at the show that weekend because I speculated him. I knew I have Mike White. I'm, Deshaun Watson, of course. John Michie, I'm speculating. Malik Willis. You have to speculate people and just hold them. I mean, if you're buying cheap, it's like stocks. You buy low, you're not losing much. But if you hit, it's good money.
But when I talk to you now, I know that you know sports.
Mm-hmm.
How much does that play into account on your speculation, your knowledge of the game, how this is going to go? You've seen quarterbacks like Mike White before. It goes into your decision making. But I know a lot of people that are in a hobby that don't watch sports at all.
Knowing sports goes
kind of speak to the knowledge of sports and how they can play a role.
Knowing sports goes a long way, and not just knowing sports. I've played, I've coached, and I can tell I tell my guys that's a football player. Like, some guys just, they're not it. When I never was a Ryan Leaf fan. I knew he wasn't a football player. That's just an example of what I like. Jamarcus Russell, I never was a fan, but like it's certain guys, I'm not surprised, man. It's just, you can tell, and knowing the sport and knowing the system and, who these guys are helps out. Like I tell people, you don't want to buy somebody after they're already hot. You're going to lose every time because the market goes down. It always drops something. So, just having sports knowledge and asking people, if you don't have sports knowledge, ask people who have sports knowledge and they'll help you out.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. It's shocking to me sometimes, the amount of people that I talk to that don't really watch a sport, but invest heavily in the cards from that sport.
Yes.
I mean, heavily.
Yes. Yes.
Based upon whatever reason, whichever reason it may be.
Mm-hmm.
What are some challenges you think people may face? We talked about sports knowledge. What are some other things that people may face when trying to come into the hobby of gaining an understanding of what is going on?
Number one, rogue dealers, man. I hate to see it. You see us, I'll deal with the guy with the $100,000 cars, but I'll deal with the kid that wants $10. Kids walk up to me all the time. Hey, you interested in buying? And I'll look. And then I'll say, kind of ask, what are you trying to do? Well, I see this pack I want for $8. I find something in there. I notice $8. All my guys do it. But dealers are the biggest obstacle because you have some that are so cutthroat. And when that person spends their money and a lot of times maybe timid is the wrong word, but a new person, they're timid, they're buying, and then you rip them off. They don't come back. They're done. They're like, oh, this is not for me.
Very true. That interaction, especially the initial ones, are very true. I can remember, for whatever reason, going into LCSs when I was coming up and going to shows, and people assumed that I knew nothing.
Right.
Kind of talking down to you, telling you this, telling you that, telling you what this is worth while you're holding it in your hand. What that is worth that you're holding in your hand, like you don't know anything about it. And usually me, when I was younger, I would listen to that for a little while and then start hitting people with nothing but facts about something. And then before you know it, that person walks away or doesn't really have a conversation for you because they know they can't really run that game. Whatever that game they was trying to run is not going to work here. This is a person you probably don't see at a show that probably knows more about what's happening at the show than most people at the show.
Right.
And that's from the time I was 13, 14 years old. That's what my advice would be with people. Never read a book by its cover. Never think that because you don't see a 7'2" guy walking at a show that all 7'2" people don't know anything about what's going on at the show.
Right. Another thing that I experienced too is just kills me. You walk in. See, when you walk in with the car shirt on, people start saying, I've seen that before. Oh, that's so-and-so. Walk in with regular clothes, happened in a trade night. Walk in with regular clothes. You have your little cars, and people look at you like, who is he? Is he trying to steal my cars? What's going on? Mm-hmm. Then when you open the case, you got $50,000 cars in there. Then wait. I sit down and say, you want to trade? Oh, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. Before you open the case. You open the case. And then all their friend says, you know who that is? That's so-and-so. Then now they want to deal with you. Like that makes me not even want to. I'm ready to go. Yep. I'm ready to go.
Have you been at a show? Because I've talked to people from all over the country, and some people have been at shows and they've experienced where individuals, vendors, talk to you as if you can't afford something.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And don't even want to answer your question. And, you ask about something, and don't even want to answer your question because they feel like you can't buy it, all the time.
I wonder where that comes from.
Oh, you already know where it comes from.
Oh, yeah.
My mother's darker than your mother,
That's It's always interesting. We got Yabo says Sharks be on it, can't front. Ampax, he called Jalen Hurts 6 months before Hurts was popular.
Oh,
what did you see in Jalen Hurts?
I was buying Hurts and Tua for $. Everybody thought I was crazy. I was buying Hurts and Tua. I cashed out. I bought a vinyl, Jalen Hurts, gold vinyl, Jalen Hurts for a couple of $100 and sold it for about $9,000. Like, people didn't want it. I knew Jalen Hurts was a football player and I knew Tua was a football player and made good money, man. Speculating, man. That's what I do.
You excite me with these stories because I pride myself on doing a lot of speculating myself and probably making some moves that other people look at me like, why is he doing that? But I always tell people that if the draft status was the only measurement of success, we don't even need to watch the game.
Right.
The draft status is just someone else's assessment of what they saw talent.
Right.
And I think you and I and everybody out here, we're the GMs of what we do.
Exactly.
We can assess our own talent and look at somebody and say, I don't think so. I don't think so. And then look at someone else and say, I can see this person right here as a straight baller.
Right. And
Imani, go ahead.
Right.
No,
and speaking of that, I have a lot of guys, man. I have a strong team, man. I have a strong team. And a lot of guys at shows come up to me and they're like, hey, man, I want to get with the Card Sharks. What I need to do? And we have a vetting process that we go through. Just say the last person to join was Mono. Indian kid, good kid, 18, 19, started with $200, man. He was one of my customers at the show. Started with $200. Probably has $30,000-$40,000 collection now. But he was a shark. But we made him come to the show. He just got a shirt like a month ago. He came to shows for months. He sat with us. He went and got us drinks. He bought us food. No, we didn't make him do all that, but it's just certain guys, you get those guys that if they want to represent your team, they have to have that mentality, so yeah, like you're saying, we're our own GMs and we kind of, see, I could tell that was a guy that we needed,
Understood. Imani says, never buy high, always buy low. Imani says, we talk all the time. And what I love about Imani is I sometimes listen to his sales pitch because I worked in sales for a long time. I was at the National. He doesn't even know this. I was just standing beside him, talking to someone else, just listening to Imani's sales pitch with people. Very personable, having a conversation, always making a deal, though. If he tells somebody that's $25 and he sees them, Imani already has his margin in his head. I can tell how he's working. And he's thinking about, okay, I just told him 25. I know I got some room. Let me come back with another price. And he was closing people. I might have in you, bro. I just want to tell you that. I might have in you.
I got a couple of things about Imani, too. Man, Imani is one of those brothers that said he was going to do something, is going to do. He said, man, in 6 months, I'm going to do a show and I want y'all to sponsor it. Every time he saw me, he said, oh, it's coming. Trust you. And when it came, he had it going. Just like he said, it was perfect. The one thing I don't like about Imani is his hair, man. I'm jealous of the hair, man. I'm jealous. I'm hating on you, Imani. I'm hating, man. Hey, bro, I'm hating.
Man. We like, man.
Imani got PSA 10 hair, man.
Yeah. Very
and
true.
I'm over here with authentic.
Let me ask you about a few players. We're gonna kick off with what Yabo's talking about here.
Okay.
What do you think of Sam Howell?
Man, I think they're trying to make him more than he is, man. I just don't think he's the one.
I don't think so either.
I don't think he's the one. I think that he's just the guy who they have to try to make somebody in Washington, man. It sounds feel good story. It's not gonna work.
What do you think of Desmond Ridder?
I think Desmond Ridder's gonna be pretty good, man. I really do. Now, I doubt him a little bit, but in the system that he's in with the running game and the passing, you just have to do a little bit, man. A little bit win. Jalen Hurts, good example. Jalen Hurts just did a little bit to win. Now, then you build on that. Just when Jalen Hurts first started.
Who is Atlanta's running back?
Who's the what?
Who's the running back in Atlanta?
Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier had 1,000 yards last year. Bijan Robinson is a beast. He's a beast.
I've heard about him.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard about him. What do you think of Zach Wilson?
Man, I'm buying Zach Wilson heavy. Let me tell you, what has been, any team that's had the least amount of quarterbacks in the last 30 years is Green Bay Packers, okay? Now, I'm saying this for a reason. You look at the thing. They like put in their quarterbacks to help bring the next guy up. Aaron Rodgers is mentoring that guy. So we know Zach Wilson can start. You know, he's a little hot head, a little immature, but he has a talent. Sit behind Aaron Rodgers. You know you're not going to start. Do the best you can. Learn everything. I think he's going to be good, man. I just really do.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to do?
I think Aaron Rodgers is trying to go out blazing. I think he's building the team. People want to play with a winner. I think he's going to win. I think he's going to play these next 2 years, and he's going to go broadcast and get that big check.
Oh, he's going to get paid. Yeah, he's going to get paid on the broadcast side.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see him going far in the playoffs with Jets?
Oh, yes, definitely. The team is there. Definitely.
Well, when they just went out and pulled in a top running back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have – what about Justin Fields? What do you think?
Oh, I saw Justin Fields play in high school. You know, him and Trevor Lawrence's high school aren't far apart. So, buddy of mine, we went up and watched them play in high school, and I was more impressed with Justin Fields. Everybody was talking about the kid out of Cartersville, which is T-Law. But Justin Fields, I mean, I told everybody he looks like a young Cam Newton. I saw his first game at UGA when he came in relief, and when he came in, changed the whole game in that quarter that he played. So I knew he would be special.
Yeah, I think he's a special talent, throwing the ball, running the ball. It's just going to be interesting to see what talent they continue to put around him.
Right.
I was actually shocked. I've been a Bears fan all my life that he was even drafted by the team. That blew my mind that night.
Yeah.
Like, wow, we're going out. We're really trying to get somebody here to do something.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he does. I'm also scared for him because of what may not happen from protection standpoint.
Well, I think they spent a lot of money, good money, man. I like a lot of the pickups they did. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people.
I really hope so. Jordan Love.
I think Jordan Love is good, man. He sat so long. When you sit, man, it's just like if you ever played ball, man, your first year, you get out there, you're like a deer in headlights. The speed is so fast, you know, but by the time you're a senior, you know, hey, you do what you do. And I think he's that senior year sitting down. I think he's ready to play, man. I think he's going to be pretty good.
I know for people out there who probably never played ball, you talk about speed of the game. I remember freshman year of college, high school, I felt like there's no linebacker. I play right guard. Play almost every down position on defense and offense, but my specialty to me was right guard. And I felt like no linebacker could get by me. Like there's nobody crossing my face to get anywhere, to get to my running back, get to my quarterback. I don't care if it's a stunt or what they're doing. When you get to first couple of practices in college, you're like, man, that dude is fast.
Yeah, lineman running 4.6.
Oh yeah, you got cats getting downhill, no problem. If you don't take that step right or engage them right, they're by you. They're over here somewhere blasting somebody. So the speed of the game is totally different. Justin Herbert.
I'm always a Herbert guy. I think, man, people gonna be mad. I think Herbert's a better quarterback than Burrow, man. I think Burrow's got the hype. Burrow got the swag. People love the swag. So, but I think, if you remember, first year 2020 when Prism and all that came out, everybody wanted Herbert. Burrow was a throwaway. Right. you know. So I think Herbert just that guy. He has a better team, better coordinators this year, so he'll make it happen.
Mac Jones, what are you thinking?
I think Mac Jones got the right coordinator now. Right. I think Zappy was just lucky. Mac Jones, I think he's going to come in and do his thing this year.
I see him succeeding with New England. I really do. What do you think about the pickup? Go ahead.
Please ask me about Brock Purdy.
No, I'm looking at his name right here. I was going to go to someone else before that, but let's talk about Brock Purdy.
I promise you he won't be good. I'm telling you, I don't care what people say.
I don't believe either.
You watch the game, when a good coordinator will shut him down. He won't be good.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is what I tell people all the time. This is sports. We get so excited when a player comes out, baseball, basketball, or football, and you show people what you can do. It's like, oh, man, Ellie is hitting this and that for the Reds. And when they start watching film on you and seeing what you can do, and then we're going to throw something else at them. We're going to throw a different defensive front. We're going to throw a different pitch sequence. And then let's see what you're going to do. So then when you react to the changes, because it's going to keep changing, Once you can react to the changes, now you're a good quarterback. You're a good hitter. You're a good boxer, whatever you want to say it is. And those who can repeatedly address the changes, that's GOAT status.
Right.
They're throwing everything they can at Steph Curry on the court.
Mm-hmm.
He's adjusting to that.
Yep.
It's whatever to him, and he's an assassin. He's gonna take you out. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, same way. They're gonna keep adjusting, and then they're gonna take you out. And those who can really do that, those are the names we remember. Those are the people we talk about. And then other people I always say is a splash in the pan. When you put that skillet, that cast iron on the fire, and you get it real hot, and you put some oil in it, and you douse some water in there, and you get that crackle, that's most players that come through any sport that shows something. Now, can you keep it going?
Yep.
Is the question. And a lot of times we get caught up in that splash in the pan, and we can't understand who's about to keep this thing going. There's more Jeremy Lin's in basketball.
Exactly. Don't say that.
Than somebody else.
But you know what? I was watching Gilbert Arenas. He's doing a lot of podcasts, making a lot of people mad. But Gilbert Arenas said something. He said, do you know why there are good players and great players in the NBA? And the host, whoever he was talking to, couldn't answer. He said tendencies. He said the stars don't have tendencies. He said, if you can watch film and find somebody's tendency, you can shut them down. He said Jordan had no tendencies. So that's what he made a good statement. I was like, wow, that's powerful.
And it's almost like Bruce Lee with a receiving of energy and a display of energy back to you. Goats can if I want to play to the left and make them dribble a certain way, they can respond to that. There's no weakness.
Right.
Let's take a Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
But he cannot dribble a basketball with his left hand.
Cannot.
So he's always trying to take you to the right.
Right.
And Draymond said when he was talking to his team, it was on film, when Golden State played Boston in the finals, hey, that guy can't dribble to his left, just force him to his left. Mm-hmm. And if people know that about you and you don't do something about it, now people may know certain tendencies of Kobe when he was young. I was looking at some film of Kobe his third year versus Indiana. He was not the same player later on because there are certain things he could and could not do. And later he perfected his craft to have no tendencies, to be able to accept whatever you want to do, and then I'm going to go do this.
Yep.
Those are the differences, people.
Yep.
And when you can see that, Beverly says, Angie, I hear you because I have no support with my husband. Well, hold up. What is the conversation?
Wrong stream.
Hold on. Please, you need self-discipline in the hobby, meaning money. This hobby has broken marriages because man has no self-control. Okay.
Days of our lives. Here we go.
I can feel that, Angie. I can feel that. I have a policy where I pay for certain things a certain way. I make sure the necessities of my household are taken care of. And then I put in extra analysis work every day to try to understand what am I buying and what am I doing, and then I make a decision.
Right.
It's not just haphazard. I'm just not shooting from the hip, and I'm not a gambler. I could go to Vegas or any other place and probably walk out with just as much money as I came in with.
Right.
That's just me.
It's like me, man. I don't do breaks. I very rarely open wax. It's not what I do.
I hunt for what I want and why.
Right.
And just like you just said with a lot of prospect moves that you've made, I may make some decisions that people may think crazy. But I'm definitely not just looking at who got drafted first and I'm going to go by them.
Right. You'll never win like that.
Never win. Question for both of you. Most recently, who have you both thought were going to be good but did not pan out?
Cam Reddish. I'm surprised that he's in a good situation this year with the Lakers. He's coming up with the Lakers. They need him. If Cam Reddish does not do anything this year, he's done. This is it. He's had every opportunity.
I'm trying to think about Cam Reddish. Looked very good in college. Looked better than RJ Barrett. Looked better than RJ Barrett. I'm trying to think. Like, I've never been a big Trae Young person, so it's not like I thought Trae Young was about to do something.
Yeah.
I have to think on that. The only reason I'm thinking is because I watch players so much and I don't get excited, and you really have to show me who you are before I'm going to believe who you are. You really have to show me that. And so I don't make early decisions on people. I get a list of people I want to watch by their ability of something I've seen, glimpses of something I've seen, and then I want to watch them. And I committed myself last season in the NBA to watch teams that I never watch, to understand, like the Houston Rockets. I don't watch the Houston Rockets, but I'm trying to understand who Jabari Smith really is. Who are some of these players? Who are they really? And I want to see them if they're losing or not. LaMelo Ball, watched a lot of Charlotte to see what is LaMelo doing tonight. So I just continuously watch people until it's locked into my head who they are or who they are not at that time. Now I'll give them time to grow and develop and all that, but I don't fall into that hype move. You know, somebody saying that this person is great or greatness or GOAT status.
Right.
And they had 25 points last night, or they had 42 last night, or even if they had 60 last night. A lot of times people don't realize that if a player is scoring 60, 65, 55 points, that may say a lot about this team is bad.
Yep. Cam Thomas.
Yes. There you go. Cam Thomas plays no shred of defense. Nothing. But he'll come out and try to shoot your lights out. But then when he shoots that shot, if you watch him and the ball tips and come off that rim, he's not even running back on the other side of the court. He's chilling. So I can only get so excited about a guy who knocks down 45 and his plus minus is probably horrible.
Right.
That's just me, though. Fields is great. He needs more help. We'll see what he does. Drew Brown, Trey Lance. Ooh.
Hey, man, that's a personal shot, right? That's my guy, Drew. That's DB. We do a morning show together. We do a morning stream show together. So that DB, man, I just feel like Trey Lance is going to get a chance somewhere. It may not be San Francisco.
It's not going to be San Francisco.
I think he'll get a chance somewhere. I just think Matt Corral never got a chance. Never. Got hurt first year in the league. Never got a chance. I think he'll do something. Just certain quarterbacks, I think they will.
You think Trey has the arm strength to be in the NFL? To lead a team?
Well, actually, his deep throws are better. Trey can't hit you on the 10-15. But I just think it's just hard to play when you know that the whole leadership is against you.
Okay.
You know, they want Purdy to come back. They want Purdy to be the man. But they're going to need Trey before it's over now, because Sam Darnold is not the guy you want being your backup.
He's not the guy. He's not the guy. You might as well talk about what's the quarterback now for Tampa Bay?
Kyle Trask, Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm. And you see what Baker Mayfield did? All those interceptions, classic Baker Mayfield. All those interceptions in the preseason, gets in the game and plays his butt off. It just shows, man, he doesn't want to be there, man. You're not coming to practice. You want to just play in the game. Come on, man.
That's Baker, though.
Yep, that's Baker. Classic Baker.
Big John, what's up, Fed? What's up, Big John? What's going on? Feed the guys. Thoughts on Derek Carr on the Saints and Jimmy G on the Raiders?
Big on Derek Carr. No Jimmy G.
I believe the same thing. I think Carr had a rude awakening by getting moved.
Mm-hmm.
I think he took that personally, and I think we're going to see something.
Saints ready to win. Kamara only got 3 games. Everything is good, man. Hoping Michael Thomas comes back. You know, Olave is a beast. You know, it's good there.
It's going to be all right. Jimmy G never believed in him. Definitely not when he made the statement that he was better than Brady.
He'll get hurt checking the mail, man. He'll get hurt going to get the mail in the morning. I don't trust him.
You think Malik Willis is ever going to play?
Oh, definitely.
So?
Malik Willis is showing them now they wasted a pick on Will Levis. Ryan Tannehill is fragile, man. He's going to get hurt. He never plays a full season.
True.
Wilson's going to come in. It's going to be one of those stories. Remember Jeff Garcia? Mm-hmm. When Jeff Garcia came in relief and never relinquished a job in San Francisco, it's going to be one of those situations. Watch.
Well, you know, the funny story about Jeff Garcia is that he saw Jerry Rice, I think, in a bar in the Bay Area. And he's in college, and he comes up to Jerry Rice, and he tells him, one day I'm going to throw you touchdowns. And Jerry's like,
yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Garcia is a nice quarterback, man.
Oh, yeah. Just those guys you see, man.
That's right. Joe says he's enjoying the show. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Always good to have you here. Emmanuel, quickly. What do you think of that guy?
Man, get out of New York, man. New York is just a bad situation for everybody, man. I don't know what's going on. They got the curse of Patrick Ewing or something, man.
But is Quickly a point guard?
No, he's a tweener, man. But he has to be in an offense where a tweener can really be a tweener.
He's not gonna be there with his coach.
Right? No, definitely not.
Not gonna happen. Bullish on Young in Carolina. This is another guy that I question his arm strength.
Good player, bad frame. He looks like a wide receiver, man.
There you go. He looks like a slot receiver. Telling you, even said at Alabama. I don't know about that kid.
Yeah, man. I mean, he can play, man. But I just that frame, man. Those linemen coming at you, it's a different ball game. It's big boys.
He was curling up on some sacks, and when they went to the ground, like you don't even see the guy.
Right.
Neither did Kobe. What didn't Kobe do, Ray?
Is that Big Apple?
I want to know what Kobe didn't do.
That's got to be Big Apple, Ray.
Devin Booker MVP this year. Devin Booker will never be an MVP.
Man, if that's Ray from New York, man, he's sleeping, man. He's gonna be streaming in a little while. He probably just woke up because I know he don't think Devin Booker's gonna be MVP, man. He's crazy. That's my good guy. That's my guy.
What's the worst NFL division?
People say the NFC South, but I mean, I don't know. It's just toss up this year. Divisions change so quickly, man, with teams, man. You never know who's beat this year.
And Pack, there's also no way they take a quarterback in the second 2 years in a row to stick with Tannehill.
I agree with that too, 100%.
It's interesting that some players just make it. Like I'm surprised Tannehill's still a starting quarterback.
Yep.
You got every piece of talent around you leaving, and you're still starting quarterback. It's interesting. Tibbs isn't a championship head coach. Probably
what?
not.
Is it? I can't. Okay, you're right. Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's not. Yes.
Okay.
Probably not. Tibbs and Randall need to go. Nick's on the rise. I know some people that believe in Julius Randall.
I don't think Randall is bad. Tibbs is a coach that doesn't coach to his talent on the team. No, he has his own set thing. Doesn't play the young guys. Only small rotations. That's not NBA ball, man.
But you know, Kerr doesn't play the young guys.
Right.
He has no interest.
Crazy.
These guys must talk to the front office and be like, "Hey, I'm only here for a specified amount of time.
Yeah.
Then I'm out."
I mean, these guys coming ready to play out of college, man, or either some of them out of high school. I mean, out of whatever they're doing, the NBD or whatever the league they're doing. I don't know what league it is, but they're coming ready to play, man.
Klay Thompson putting in work. Contract here. Klay has dropped probably 20 pounds at least. Looks like he has his stroke like he used to have. And I think the key is going to be him playing back-to-backs. That's the key of dropping his weight. Making sure his lower extremities are taken care of. He can recuperate, come back. Yep. But what I'm saying, Kirk came out 2 or 3 days after they were put out of the playoffs and say he put a personal challenge out to Klay to lose weight. And Klay has answered that challenge because he looks more like the Klay that was a two-way Klay than the Klay that was the rehab Klay. So, and I'm pretty sure diet has been important in that. That's my pick, NFC South. Joe Burrow is one to watch. I honestly think that Frank Robinson is underrated by far. I hardly see anyone talking about his career. I have thoughts on that. What do you think about Frank Robinson?
Orioles, the old manager, we talking about him? Yeah. I mean, very underrated. Of course, it was the times, man. Overshadowed, It's a lot of minority players that overshadowed, that had great careers,
And then Frank was also one who spoke his mind.
Yep, 100%.
And when you find a person of color that historically has spoken their mind through starch racism, not some of the stuff that you may see today, in your face, upfront racism and what he went through on the field and started his career in Cincinnati. When Pete Rose was a rookie, people fail to forget. They don't remember these years and what he's talked about hearing on the field. And being the first African-American manager in baseball and one of the first African-American front office people in baseball, it's not. I don't think it's up for Frank Robinson to be talked about a lot. It's going to get talked about with me. I'll tell you a story. I had an opportunity to meet Frank Robinson at a national. This was before COVID, probably 8 years ago, probably about 3 years before his passing. And I have this jersey that's a Mitchell & Ness Jackie Robinson jersey. I've had a lot of people sign it. It's probably got 60-something people on it by now. And I went to Frank Robinson at the National, and I had him sign an inscription. It's probably very different, where it talked about Jackie Robinson being asked to go to the back of the bus, refusing that. This is like 4 or 5 years before Rosa Parks, and being kicked off the bus by military police in an attempt to court-martial him and kick him out of the military. And he faced that, stayed in the military. And Frank Robinson wrote an inscription about this on the jersey. And before he wrote it, he asked me some questions, which I still think is just like my parents, man. He asked me some questions about who was I. He asked me some personal questions about, I guess he was trying to understand my motivation for this. So what was I talking about? And I started telling him some stuff for myself. And he wrote that, and he talked to the person next to him about the significance of Jackie Robinson not going to the back of that bus at that time, and how he was proud to write that. Frank Robinson's different. And I disrespect the man so much. Even I don't care about years from now. I'll tell Junior that story. And we cut it on video. My mom actually recorded. My mom was there with me that day. And we recorded that video. And I respect him a lot. So
it's good stuff. Good stuff.
Nothing but love for Frank Robinson. Stetson Bennett, what do you think?
He's a winner, man. I'm a Stetson Bennett guy. He's a winner.
You know, Imani was telling me the other day he's big on Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, he's a winner. Look what he got in the game the other day. Lit it up. I mean, listen, Matt Stafford is not their guy. You already know. And if Stetson is the number 2, you know, it is what it is. But Matt Stafford, they tried to trade him. They can't get out of his contract. You know, he won the Super Bowl. They're ready for him to get out of there now. They don't want to pay him $20 million. So
no, he's not. And you know he's not worth that, and he probably has 2 more years in the league.
You know, and he's a Georgia guy, just like Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford wants him to be the next guy. You know, Matt Stafford's wife wanted him to retire before he left Detroit. So sure, if he play a couple more years, he's out.
True. Diana, enjoyed the exchange. Diana, thank you for being here.
Hey,
love Frank Robinson and the story, FD. Yeah, Bo. It's the real deal. I should probably post that video one day. It's the real deal, man. I watch it every once in a while. It gets me hyped up. Feed the Gods. Was just curious about your guys' thoughts. Picked up a really clean PSA 6.5, 67 tops of his. Frank Robinson, and everything started flooding back of his. Well, I mean, I love any Frank Robinson card. If you pick one up, 67 tops is a great card.
Yeah.
It is a great card.
I love cards that have a story. I love stuff like that. And, you know, that's good stuff.
How do you decide which shows you're going to, your travel schedule, and then let people know where you're going to be at coming up?
I just try to go to shows that I feel like that fit what we're trying to do at the moment. We're just branching out now. We have a bunch of great guys, man, a bunch of guys who are understanding the movement. And just say Hobby Slam weekend. We'll have guys in Huntsville, Alabama. We'll have guys on the ground in Spartanburg, South Carolina. So we'll be everywhere, man. And I want to get the word out, you know, let them know the Sharks are everywhere. We just decide, you know, what show, like I'm trying to move more to the bigger cards. Our guy in Huntsville will be doing the Pokemon. So we just go with wherever's good for us, you know, try to have representation everywhere. We'll be doing Hobby Slam in 2 weeks. This weekend, we're doing 2 local shows. We're doing McDonough, Georgia Saturday, and we're doing Chamblee, Georgia Sunday. So we try to do 4 or 5 shows a month. Hobby Slam, we're going to take a week off. Then we're going to do Dallas, Nashville coming up. We're doing, let me tell you. We were at a show, our local show. Guy walks in and talks to my boy, Chris. Chris is our logistics guy. He plans all the shows, books them, get us there. So, you know, he told me after the show that those were representatives from the Atlanta Falcons who wanted us to do a show at the Dome. So we're working on that. It's going to be Shark Fest, kind of have a name. We actually have reached out to do collaborations with Prison Guard. We're working on something with that. We're looking at building. We're in talks right now to build about a 4,000 square foot card shop in Atlanta, partnering with Scofflaw Brewery. Just got so much stuff going on. We direct partners with one of the top TikTok guys out there, Mark Trush. He does Trush boxes on repacks, top of the game. We're working with him. We have so many people that when people know that you're doing the right thing, you're doing good things, man, they want to partner with you, man. We have so many things, and we're going to tie it all together and make one big thing, man. And we're working to bring more shows to Atlanta, get more hobby awareness for the minority kids. Like, we're just working on everything, man. And our guys are, even the people that want to sponsor us, they're all in, man. All in.
All right. I'm about to get with you on stuff that you're doing with children at different shows that you're going to. And probably come out.
Okay.
I would love to do that.
Let me know, man. We like to travel too, man. Let us know.
Okay. All right. Going through my questions here. We've hit a lot in a brief amount of time.
Yeah, good thing.
Anthony Edwards, what do you think of him?
Ant-Man, man, that's my guy. Ant-Man played on an AAU team in my city when he was younger. Do you know who was on that AAU team? It was 12 and under team. Ant-Man, first round. Kira Lewis Jr., second round pick. Reggie Perry, second round pick on the same AAU team. Ain't that crazy? Yeah, so that's my guy. He's from my city.
You think he's gonna be that dude?
Of course. He's that guy. I've always been high on him. He's that guy.
What do you think of LaMelo Ball?
Melo is Melo, man. I mean, I never understood the hype with him. He's good now. As a collecting standpoint, he is not a guy he's not a guy who will continuously be collected. People want the 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" dunkers. They want those Jalen Greens. They want those Ant-Mans. They want, the guys who are gonna hang on the rim and put you on a poster. They want those guys.
That's true.
LaMelo's hype is with his dad, but I think he's solid, man. I think him and Lonzo are solid. I hope Lonzo comes back, but I think he's solid, gonna lead a team and do his thing.
What about Tyrese Halliburton?
Quiet assassin, man. Quiet assassin.
The only question I have about him, you think that jump shot can make it in the playoffs, or you got to tweak that thing?
Ask Mark Jackson. Same thing.
I can't argue that one, bro. I can't argue that one. Big John said that's awesome. Joe said Trailblazers. Thank you, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Robinson graduated from McClellan's High School in West Oakland. Teammates with Bill Russell. These are facts.
True stories.
These are facts. And Joe knows that vintage history. We've talked before. Knows it well. What do you think about? No, this is another player that people don't talk about a lot. Ken Griffey Jr.
The sweet swinging lefty, baby.
Yeah, you don't hear that name come up a lot. Why do you think that is?
If you didn't watch him play, you wouldn't understand, man. That guy was the man for a long time. He was just so good at everything. He made everything so effortless. From his defense to hitting. Another thing about Griffey, never got in trouble, man. Never got in trouble. Never caused a problem, man. Even when he was mad at Cincinnati, never caused a problem. He said he never played for the Yankees, which was funny to me because of his dad. You know the story behind that?
Yeah, Greg knows.
Yeah. Ken Griffey Jr. said when he was younger, he was a ball boy or something with the Yankees. They wouldn't let him. They told him he had to get out of the dugout with his dad, and saw another kid, different color, in there and was allowed to go to the dugout. And he said he never played for them.
Yeah, it was Greg Nettles' kid. Greg Nettles was on third base playing ball,
right,
throwing grounders to his son. Nobody said anything to him.
Nobody said anything. And the Yankees begged Griffey, offered him big money. He's like, I can't do it. I love that kind of stuff.
Now, I wonder who was that individual that told him to get out the dugout.
Probably fired now.
Somebody found out who that person was.
Oh, yeah.
Daytime, shift, everything.
Yeah. Hey, if it was now, they'd have a social media. They have a video of the guy doing it.
They have a video of him telling him, "Yo, you gotta go." That thing,
right.
That thing would be everywhere.
Right.
FD ain't new to this.
No.
Oliver knows the deal. Omega Sci-Fi brother. Oliver knows that. It's a pleasure talking to you. I need to have you on more often.
Hey, man, always down. I want to get us one time with the team on here, man. You'd love it. It'll be fun.
We should do that. How many people?
Definitely.
How many people would you have on?
Whoo, man. Some of these guys I can't have on. No, I'm just kidding. About 7 or 8 of us, but we can do different things. 2 or 3 different guys have different things.
Yeah, we can do 2 or 3, and I think we can get up to like 8 or 9 people on here.
Oh man, it'll be wild. We need to definitely do that.
I would love to have. We'll do that. Got another question here. What do you think of Tyler Hero?
Oh my gosh. One of my guys calls himself Baby Hero. I don't have one Tyler Hero card. I don't have faith in him. I mean, he's good, but not good enough for me to collect.
He's a streaky shooter. That's what he is.
Yeah.
No more, no less. Chandra says sharks are everywhere.
Everywhere.
You got people here, man, because I don't think I've ever put up a live and said, hey, I'll be on in 15 minutes with this person. I get in here and there was already 17 people in here.
Everybody love the Sharks, man. We global, man. Come on.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. The
FD, we couldn't even have a good conversation at National between me and you because everybody kept coming up and talking to us. We couldn't even talk about what we had to talk about.
I remember that.
Hey.
People coming through. And I turned to G and said, these people are well known, man.
Yeah.
People are coming from everywhere having a conversation about stuff, and we're chilling. You know, we get in there, we're in the Thursday night trade night, and we're kind of chilling out.
Yeah.
And people are hitting you with questions and talking about stuff, and then we get back in our conversation, then they go back to you, and then we come back to us.
Yep. Yep.
It is all good. We gotta get you out here to a West Coast show.
Oh, I'm coming, man. We're getting the guys together.
All right.
We'll be there.
We can definitely do some content or something at that show.
Definitely.
Maybe have a conversation right in the show about what's going on around us and what's going on with you and what you're looking for. Yeah, but I'm very serious about getting out and doing some community stuff with you. And I told Imani I need to get down to the South more. I'm trying to get there in October and spend some time with him and Yabo. But we need to come back.
You coming to Culture?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Well, if you do come, Prism God always does something for the kids, minority kids. He always has something going on. So we can tie into that. I'll talk to him. We tie into that. Let's do something, man.
Okay. All right. Is John Morant going to get it together?
I think so.
I think Ja's going to get it together. I don't think Ja's ever going to win a championship.
Right. Correct.
I think he'll get it together, though. I think you'll stop hearing about this other stuff. He'll come out and score his 25, 27. Could get up to 30 points a game. I'd love to see him produce a better jump shot and take less stress off his body. Because I do believe if he keeps coming into the hole the way he is, his career will probably be as long as Dwayne Wade's.
But you know what the problem is? On every team, if you're a good coach, you have to have that Vince Carter, that Udonis Haslem on the end of that bench, man.
I agree.
You got to have those guys. When the Hawks made the playoffs and were doing good, Vince Carter's on the bench. Vince Carter leaves, they fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
No, he stops all that, man.
That's true. Oliver says the Sharks are rolling. We got Jenna in here with the Sharks in the house.
Let's go.
FD says Oliver says I agree. FD, the Shark is good to listen to. Excellent. I knew when we first started talking at the show that this is going to be a great conversation. It's going to be many different conversations. We both can talk about sports, which I love, and we both can talk about the hobby. And we're about the same age. We kind of experience different parts of the country, something similar at the same time. I think a lot of people thought when we started rolling with FD that this is a dude that just popped up talking about cars, but that's not the deal at all.
Oh, no.
Been on that for a while, and I like the fact in the last 2 years what I've learned and how we've grown. Because I first started this channel, man, I had never sold anything. I was a collector, just collecting stuff. And then I started thinking about how do I want to finance my own PC evolution? I need to sell some stuff that I have that I don't really see going, some Pippin cards and some other stuff that I may have had a little bit of sentimental value to, but let me change and try to understand how do I make this a little bit more dynamic. And I started the channel wanting to show what we do really in the hobby. Every deal that you see is a real deal. It's nothing made up. Don't know what other people do. I also wanted to show involvement with women and children and showcase different people in the hobby that may not get talked about. I wanted to have Card Sharks on, talk to you, talk to Imani, talk to Yabo, talk to people, boots on the ground in the hobby and find out what's really going on and not just talk to the CEO of a company.
Right.
What you're doing, bro, is very rare.
Thank you.
People should give you your flowers right now about
Appreciate
what you're doing. What some of the people that we've talked about, Yabo, Imani, and several others that are doing and representing across the country, what Prism God is doing with Culture Collision, rare. People should be talking about that more than what they do. And this is going to be an outlet, continue to be an outlet to talk about that and showcase different people. So that's what we do up in here. It's about what's really going on.
Yes, 100%.
Face red, heart shaped. Doris, good to have you here. Let me ask you one last question. Zion Williamson. What is this kid going to be?
Man, I have faith in Zion, man. I think that, it's kind of like Joel Embiid, man. Like, an interesting fact, they say Zion still hasn't missed more games than Joel Embiid did to start his career. So I think when Zion gets in there, it's going to be all good, man. I really do. I have faith in him. Buy him low. Perfect time to buy low. I'm getting so many good Zion cards that you couldn't touch, for now, $100, $200, low risk.
True. Well, what do you think is up with this Daryl Morey and James Harden situation? Patrick Beverly was on his podcast, I think, yesterday and stated that it seems like Daryl Morey may have lied to him about some kind of payment or what his contract was going to be.
Right.
And James Harden is taking that personally. But what do you think about that situation? And where does that leave Joel Embiid?
I just look at Harden, great player, man. But he's like, I don't know. You're going to laugh at this, but I always kind of group Harden and Kanye West as the same person in my mind. But he's just like, you know how Kanye always has something going on? Mm-hmm. And James Harden always has something going on, man. He's just like never just content and playing ball, man. Bad for Embiid, because Embiid deserves better. Harden needs to stay there and play.
Embiid's got to get out of there, man.
He got to. I mean, that's a bad situation.
This is the prime of his career.
Yes.
And these guys over here playing patty cake with each other.
Yep.
First person I thought about when I saw that, what Harden said was like, man, where's Embiid at? Another thing I noticed is that when Embiid got married, I didn't see Harden there. I saw every other player on the team.
Everybody.
Didn't see Harden there.
Would you want Harden as a coach? Would you want him on your team?
No.
I think he's a cancer to the team, man. I wouldn't want him either.
So Doc Rivers, that was a bit of film from Doc Rivers early in the season last year when preseason was going on, pulled James Harden aside and he's like, hey, I want you to play traditional point guard here. I want you to make players better around you. And Harden's looking at him like this.
Yeah.
Told me no, I have no interest in that. And what he could be if he shot the ball consistently, and that just meant that he took better shots. If he passed the ball, it made his teammates better. Harden has the ability to be deep in the finals every year. I don't care what team you drop them on.
No doubt.
He plays a selfish kind of ball.
Prime Harden is unstoppable, man. Mm-hmm. They try to do a little rule change to slow him down. He adjusted, but I mean, if he comes to play, man, dangerous.
Nothing like him. Shoot the three, shoot the free throw.
Mm-hmm.
This guy come in shape, ready to go. But will he do what he commit himself to that?
Yep.
I see him doing more in the offseason in a club than I see first week of the season. I don't need to see one thing about me. I don't need to see these workout tapes.
Right.
I don't know what this is. I don't need to see you getting after it. You should be getting after it. I need to see when you finish preseason and you start the season, there's no hamstring pulls.
Right.
You ready to rumble. That's what I need to say. You coming off, you ready to get on the court and handle business. Ray and B to the Knicks, I don't think that helps him B. I think that's 2 steps back.
Man, Ray's crazy, man.
Yeah. Brendan, because of the cult following. Yeah. Harden,
I guess he's trying to say. Guess he's typing wrong.
Okay. And B with Butler. They were in Philly together. What happened to that?
Didn't work there. Won't work then.
Just Harden being Harden. Yabo says, I've talked to Yabo about this in person. Yabo said John and Zion will be fine.
I agree.
I think they're going to be fine. I don't think either one is going to win a championship unless somebody else is leading that team they're on.
You know who's going to surprise people this year, though?
Who?
Jordan Poole.
You think so?
Yeah. People just think I don't blame Jordan Poole for checking out. This guy punched me. Y'all didn't do anything. Jordan Poole could have made the situation ugly.
That's the same thing KD said. KD said this guy did this and y'all didn't do anything.
Yeah. I mean, that hurt the whole team because other people, even the people that didn't get punched, look, you let this dude do anything he wants to do. And there are other instances they have him doing that.
I go back to the film. Poole gets punched. All the players on the court, you don't see any veteran coming to the film.
Nope. Nobody.
Steph is on that court. Clay is on that court. You don't see anything. You see young people. I see Kuminga turn and take a step. I see other people take a step. You don't see anything. I even see Patrick Baldwin Jr. take a step.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see the vets. Why is that?
They're scared of Draymond, man. They know Draymond's crazy.
Or do they think that Poole is always talking that yak?
But, okay, I mean, I get it, but that's how some people get up to play. Gary Payton, Latrell Sprewell, KG. I mean, it is what it. Larry Bird. Nobody talked more than Larry Bird. I tell my guys, we had a question at a car show. Chris asked me about how Larry Bird was overrated. I said, no, sir. No, sir. I said, you don't, first of all, people don't realize how big Larry Bird was. Big. 6'10", 240, 6'9", 240. Okay. And he could back it up. You know what I'm saying?
The thing that happened to him is that he had a back injury.
Yep, exactly.
Which ultimately cut his career short.
Yep.
But Larry Bird you won't see a Larry Bird again.
Yeah. I told him better than Dirk, better than Luka, anybody you talk about, he's better than them. Yep.
We confuse sometimes longevity, LeBron James. We confuse longevity with greatest of all time, GOAT, whatever. LeBron has been a player that's played at a very high level for over 20 years. You don't see that. That this does not happen. For whatever reason, he's played at a high level for over 20 years. But does that mean he's the GOAT?
I think that you have people from different eras, and we saw Jordan, and he was just different. I mean, LeBron is great, no doubt, but Jordan was just different, man. He was different. They talk about Joe Dumars and all that. That was a system. The Pistons were fouling. They were killing Jordan. But as somebody actually stopped Jordan, it didn't happen.
No,
it didn't happen.
And like he always said, he had a hard time facing small guards on the defensive end. Mm-hmm. Guards getting under him, Isaiah Thomas and other guards getting under him. Other than that, Mike was not pretty much fazed by too much of anything. I just wonder, when does the GOATs conversation stop? When LeBron retires, are we still talking about GOATs?
I just don't. This is me, man. You're never going to have a GOAT because there was so many great players. I mean, what are you looking at? You're looking at wins. You're looking at, how are you going to Kareem, Bill Russell? I mean, people don't. You're talking to somebody 21, 20 years old today, even 30. They can't tell you about Kareem.
No, they can't.
They can't tell you how dominant that Skyhook was, or Bill Russell, or Oscar Robertson. They can't tell you, maybe not as athletic, but Oscar Robertson was doing the same stuff, man. 6'9" point guard, doing whatever he wanted to do out there. I mean, so it's just hard to do a GOAT thing because, nobody saw them all,
That's true. Because I got to admit, I came in on the tail end of Kareem's career.
Right.
When I was really young.
And look how good he was at the tail end.
That's right. Yeah. And I go back on YouTube and watch film when he was with Milwaukee. His footwork is stellar. Stellar as a big man. Yeah. You don't see that. There's no one in Embiid. Definitely not Giannis. The Joker. There's no one that moved their
Nobody. Nobody. 7'2".
No one. No. Super athlete, jumping ability, passing the ball ability. And what's interesting, when he's played with the Big O early in his career, this is savviness on the court. Yeah. You look back at that stuff, he doesn't look like a second, third year guy.
No, definitely doesn't.
And still humble. Big O at the end of the game when they win the championship was hollering and screaming, and Kareem was like just standing there.
Yeah. Just could take ready for the moment all the time.
We got a few more here. Ray, thoughts on Carmelo Anthony? He had he adjusted his game, he would go down better in history. Melo was a sniper, so underrated. Carmelo Anthony didn't play a shred of defense.
Right. He couldn't guard anybody.
Couldn't guard the person in the sixth row serving drinks.
Yep.
He had no interest in it. So yeah, he'll score. He's ninth all time on the scoring list. That's it.
Derek
And
Curry
when
was
he
scoring
came out of Syracuse, I was a huge fan. I thought he was going to do more than that.
Look how many people scores, man. People don't realize that. I mean, not to knock Melo. Look at Jamal Crawford. Hell of a score. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, this is scores. I mean, you gotta be play both ways, man, to be considered.
Defense. And if you consider, and if you want some jewelry on, you better be playing defense.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can be Carmelo and at the end of your career tiptoeing the 3-point line and only tiptoeing the 3-point line.
But you scoring 30 and giving up 35 is you're losing.
It ain't working. And that's what we don't think about as people watching basketball. We see a guy, man, he had 40 last night. How much did he give up on the defensive end? How many assists went right past his face? Did he have any block shots? Give me a guy who can score, rebound, and block a few shots or steal the ball. Now, man, I'm excited now.
Mm-hmm.
I get excited and humble with it. I was just talking to JD the Collector today about humble basketball players. Someone who knows they're the bomb, but doesn't always speak about being a bomb. Because I played ball, and I thought those who talked the most about themselves had a level of insecurity about themselves.
Right.
And those who talk less and played, they knew what the deal was. That's just me, though. Mavs this year, not doing anything.
Nothing.
And then please don't look for it. And I believe Kyrie was signed to make sure that we have a point guard when Luka gets up out of here. So Luka won't be that long.
I agree.
Yeah, it won't be that long. The Nike deal alone.
What?
What is that referring to, Brenda? I don't know. Yeah, let me know what that's referring to. Braun the GOAT. He may be riding the GOAT, Chris, but he's not the GOAT.
Definitely not Devin Booker.
No, man. Devin Booker. I just don't understand. I was even in Phoenix a couple of weeks ago. I was asking the guy about, you a Devin Booker fan? He was like, oh, yeah, I like him a lot. I just don't get it. Jason Tatum or Devin Booker this year? I pick Book. I pick neither.
No, neither. I don't think Devin Booker would start on most good high school teams.
He's not that good of a player.
Not very.
He talks a lot, though. He drives that 67 Chevy, but he doesn't do too much. Yeah, he'll drive that thing with the arm hanging out the window and everything. He ain't doing too much more than that. When he drove to the stadium, that's about all he's going to do tonight.
That's it.
He'll put up some points, but he's not doing too much more.
Speaking of no defense, oh boy.
Yeah, really not interested in it.
Nah.
I wonder if Monty Williams would rather, as he sits right now, be in Detroit with probably some hungry guys or be in Phoenix.
Definitely Detroit.
Yeah. What do you think about Detroit Pistons? What you think they're going to do this year?
Jay Nivey, man, I think they have a strong team. You know, Cade Cunningham, they almost got fined because they set Cade Cunningham trying to tank. But the NBA found out he wasn't really hurt. But I think they're going to have a strong team, man. They got a lot of young guys ready to play.
So Cade wasn't really hurt?
No, he had a voluntary procedure, but the commissioner said you can't sit anybody in an effort to tank inadvertently. So they almost got fined, but you know they let it go.
Research, his injury made no sense to me.
Yep. He had a knee injury all of a sudden. Then he didn't need surgery.
Really like shin splints. They were talking about under the knee to the ankle. So you basically said this guy had shin splints,
right?
And he needed an operation.
So they were real close to like a $8 million fine, but they backed off of it.
Interesting. What do you think of Cade Cunningham? You think he's the real deal?
Oh yes, sir. I think so. I don't think he'll ever be a superstar in the league. I think he'll be like a bigger Pippen or like a poor man Kawhi Leonard kind of player, you know, something like that. I think he'll just be one of those glue guys, can make everybody better, but never spectacular.
I just got to see where he's at on the defensive end. I haven't seen him play it.
He should be able. I mean, he has all the tools to play defense.
Well,
we'll see.
He definitely has a mid-range jump shot.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see young guys with a mid-range like that.
Yep. DeMar DeRozan.
That's right. Living in the mid-range. 20,000 points scored in the mid-range. Yep. That's hard, people. ATL picker, MJ. I got a few more here. I have a NFL Flawless RPA 25 still in case with Flawless sticker, trying to flip within a month. Will grading increase value if I don't get a 10? Should I just flip raw?
Who is it? Gotta know who it is.
Yeah,
a lot of variables.
A lot of variables. Michael Jeffrey Jordan is the GOAT. Sure enough, his book is him. Chris keeps repeating this. I don't know about that, Chris.
I think his phone is stuck, man.
Booker is a beast. What kind of beast is he, though, Ray?
I think
Beauty
Chris
and
is
the
paying
Beast?
Ray. Chris is paying Ray to say that.
Booker too busy keeping up with the Kardashians. He does a lot.
Yep.
He was at Ruben's white party. Does a lot. Sir, I appreciate having you here.
Hey, man, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
This has been great. I tell you, I've been looking forward to this all day since you gave me the word. Been looking forward to this. Get you on here and have a conversation. You know, you and I, we could keep rambling for about 5 more hours.
Oh, man. Hey, that's good stuff, man. Good organic talking, man.
That's right. I came to this with no preconceived questions, nothing. I said, I'm going to let this conversation flow. I knew it would flow well. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate your team. We will schedule something to have you and your team on. And I will be in contact with you about stuff at the beginning of 2024, trying to get together for the show.
Sounds good, man. I'm here.
Card Sharks, people. ATL.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And before we go, I got to have you in the intro. So I'm going to ask you, who are you rolling with? And you
we rolling with FD, baby. All the way. Card Sharks ATL.
I appreciate you, man. You have
All
a
right.
great night. Thank you very much. And tell your whole team, FD family, everybody, we say hello.
Okay, will do. Thank you, sir.
All
Have a
right.
good one.
Thank you, brother.
All right. Good night.